very good evening, Zimbabwe. You are listening to Studio 7 Live Talk, Women's Roundtable. We are coming to you live from the Voice of America in Washington this Thursday, July the 6th, 2023. I am your host, Sithandekile Mhlanga. Tonight, we are discussing the cost of living with prices of basic commodities remaining high. Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube has warned businesses, including government departments and local authorities, who refuse to accept the local currency, saying they are breaking the law and acting against government policy. But before we dive deep into our main topic, let us take a look at what is happening in the United States and political developments in Zimbabwe. In its latest session, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld preferences for Native American foster children to be adopted by Native American parents. The Indian Child Welfare Act was challenged by non-Native foster parents who say it is discriminatory. For VOA, Levi Stallings has our story from the southwest state of Arizona.
Alicia Manuel and her husband adopted Native American children in accordance with the Indian Child Welfare Act, which put them ahead of other prospective parents.
They were a white family, and they seemed like a very nice family. The father was a doctor, the mother was a stay-at-home mom, and they had the love in their heart to care for a child. But the tribe said, we want our child, basically our child that's Native American, to go to a home that's Native American.
Derek Beetso is director of the Tribal Self-Governance Program at Arizona State University.
The Indian Child Welfare Act was passed in 1978, and it came on the heels of Congress recognizing through multiple hearings and congressional testimony that there was an epidemic in Indian country. A lot of Native children were being targeted by adoption agencies and otherwise being removed from Indian homes and placed in non-Indian families.
The law gives adoption preference to members of the child's extended family, followed by members of the child's tribe, and then another Native American home.
Everybody wants to know where they come from. Everybody wants to know, who am I? Who are my grandparents? Who are my ancestors? Where was my creation story at?
Supreme Court justices ruled 7-2 against a challenge by non-Native foster families and the state of Texas that argued the federal law discriminated based on race. Laura Pahulis has spent over a decade advocating for foster children. Like the plaintiffs in the Supreme Court case, she has questions about the law's benefit for children.
I know they would love to keep the children with their own culture, and I understand that. But if there's no one to care for that child within their environment, then I think it would be a travesty for the child to not allow someone else that is willing to adopt a child and raise them in stability and give them a life free of trauma that they deserve.
The Supreme Court based its ruling on Native American sovereignty and did not respond to arguments that its adoption preferences are racially discriminatory, leaving in place protections that ensure that families like Manuel's will be able to use the Indian Child Welfare Act for future adoptions.
You guys tired?
Yeah.
I'm tired too.
I can't wait to take a long nap.
Levi Stallings for VOA News, Phoenix, Arizona.
And next, an update on the oncoming harmonized elections expected on the 23rd of August. We see that today the political party Free Zim Congress launched its 2023 election campaign and unveiled its candidates. Party leader Joseph Makamba Busha explains what his party has to offer.
Saka tiri isu vagoni vebasa takuya kuzopedzesa nokuzadzikisa zvatakarwirwa kuhondo zvatakaendera kuhondo. Ndo zvatiri kuti tiudze mhuri yeZimbabwe kuti mahospitari hapana akawaka akapera, migwagwa haina kupera, hapana chabatwa chatiri kuti izvo aiwa apa basa rakabatwa zvakanaka rikapera. Mukaona iye zvino kubvira mukuwaka parliament tinoda vanhu vokunze wenyika kuti vavake parliament. Airport yakavhurwa yezvinezvi haina kuwakwa nemazimbabweans. Tinonotsvaga vanhu vokunze venyika kuti vavake airport. Hatifanirwa kudaro. Tiri kuti isu tine vana vakaenda kumatechnical kuma-colleges vanokwanisa kuwaka building. Hatinganotore ma-Chinese kuti vave vake airport. Isi tine maoko takapiwa zvese. Saka ndiri kuti isu vagoni vebasa tauya kuzopedzisa zvakatangwa zvakanaka, toputsa zvakashata.
That was Free Zim Congress Party leader Joseph Makamba Pusha speaking earlier on in Harare today. Speaking on the sidelines on the same launch, female candidates for Free Zim Congress Party in the oncoming elections outlined their plans for constituencies they will contest in.
MP MLA Inkulumani constituency Obulawayo. Isizathu sami sokuthi ngikhethe ukumela Inkulumani kungokuba ngananzelela kakhulu ukuthi izikhathi zonke sebesithembele kuba ukuthi basilide, kodwa according to the way ngibona ngakhona, I think they failed us as women. So ibe naleya nto yokuthi let me have a push ngibone ukuthi iletha ushintsho eNkulumani and ushintsho engilu-expecta kwiZimbabwe uzulu wonke. Eshintshweni lolo ngifuna ukuthi abafazi bebe-covered, sikwazi ukuthi abantwana abahluphekayo aba-vulnerable sikwazi ukubathatha sibafudumeze, sibathathe njengesikhukhukazi sesifukamela amaqanda aso. Now njengomuntu wesimame ngifuna njalo ukuthi senze ama-projects azotshintsha impilo zabomama, ama-widows wonke, and again into esiyithembisayo esifunayo thina njengozulu njengabantu abamele i-Free Zim Congress ukuthi kube khona ukuhlonipha umthetho, ngoba lapha thina eZimbabwe akusekho konke lokho, akusenzeki. So besifuna ukuthi sibe khona ukuthi sihloniphe umthetho. Umama kulesihlelo uzakwazi ukuthi amamele into ezikhulunywa ngezikhalazo zabantu, uzokwazi ukuthi abantu kufuze bathole imisebenzi, abantu besifazane labo abangashadanga abahluphekayo babekwazi ukuthi bavuye ekuseni bahambe bayosebenzela abantu ababo.
Igama lami nguHarriet Nyathi ngivela eWange Central constituency. Mina njengomama eWange, I'm the first woman osuka waba lesibindi sokuthi emelela abantu beWange constituency, first time in history. So all along iWange ibimela obaba benika ama-promise kuwo wonke umuntu bengakhalengeli izikhalazo zakomama. So ngakubona ukuthi mina ngiyime phambili ngiyomela omama, ngimelele wonke umuntu, ngi-implement wonke ama-promise la ama-MPs akade emela abantu eWange engabafulfilanga. So into ekumele ngiyenze, ngingamvotela in, I'm ready ukuthi iWange ichintshe, especially okwakathesi iWange sokugcwele ama-mining companies. Ama-mining companies lawa they are busy be-employer obaba bodwa, omama bebakhangelela phansi. So mina njengomama izikhalazo omama vele ngiyabe ngizikhangele. I'll make sure that onke ama-mining companies kube yi-50-50% ukuthi be-employer omama. Zonke izikhalazo we have got ama-PWDs and people living with disabilities. Ngakunanzelela ukuthi laba omama kumbe abantu abalimeleyo abakhangelwa abanakekela ezintweni eziningi, especially ku-employment babakhangelela phansi ngabantu abadubekayo. So I'll make sure ukuthi mina lawo bantu ama-PWDs, people living with disabilities, benelise ukuthola imisebenzi, benelise ukuthi i-government ibavulela ama-projects to sustain them nemoli yabo.
Those were Free Zim Congress party female candidates, with Harriet Nyathi saying she is the first female candidate to contest in Hwange Central, while Adelaide Mhlanga says women can deliver more development than men as they are more conversant with challenges faced by communities. Meanwhile, opposition Citizens Coalition for Change members allege that ZANU-PF candidates for Bikita South, Energy Mutodi, drew out a gun and fired 2 shots at party members as he tried to disrupt their rally, meant to be addressed by party leader Nelson Chamisa this afternoon in Bikita. Studio 7 was unable to obtain a comment from Mutodi, while police spokesperson Paul Nyati said the issue has not yet been brought to his attention. CCC further says that it was barred by police to have its rallies in Chireti yesterday and Chivi Growth Point today, whilst accusing ZANU-PF members of violence against its party members, including in Masvingo. However, ZANU-PF spokesman for Masvingo, Pepukai Chiwewe, denied that his party is causing violence. Yebo ke kulabo abasanda ukusixhuma lamhlanje sihlaziya isimo somnotho welizwe lapho inengi elikhala ngokuthi lanxa isisindo sedola leZimbabwe sibika silokhu siqina nxa siqhathaniswa ledola leMelika, impilo iqhubeka isiba lukhuni ngoba intengo yempahla yezitolo ikhuphuka kokuphela, njalo osomabhizinisi bathi abayithembi imali yeZimbabwe. Kodwa uhulumende uzitshayela ihlombe ngokuqina kwamandla edola leZimbabwe, njalo uthi osomabhizinisi abangasoze bemukele imali le ngoba befuna kwamanye amazwe bephula umthetho leziqondiso zakhe. Sibonile njalo ibandla le-Free Zim Congress lisethula ugwalo lwalo olwemanifesto kanye labazancintisa kukhetho bemelele libandla. Sizakhuluma ke njalo labahlonitshwa bethu abasimeleleyo kathesi babele sineke unkosikazi Jasmine Tofa kanye lo nkosazana buhle benkosi Ngwenya. Kodwa singakafiki kubo, let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
In times of change, when the world seems uncertain and what we hear doesn't reflect what we see, we seek the truth. When we are told only part of the story, we lose trust. In moments of crisis, our dreams, hopes, and wishes for a better tomorrow depends on a free press. At Voice of America, we bring you the stories that people take risks to see. We connect the world and unite it with truth. At Voice of America, we show you the whole picture.
For those just joining us, this is LiveTalk, the Women's Roundtable, coming to you live from Studio 7 at the Voice of America in Washington. We are discussing the cost of living with prices of basic commodities remaining high despite the gain made by the Zimbabwean dollar against the US dollar in the past few weeks. Now, to discuss our topic in depth, we are joined by Jasmine Tofa of the Women's Parliamentary Caucus, Patricia Chabalala, Deputy Chairperson of the Bulao Progressive Residents Association, and Buhlebenkosi Ngwenya of the West Speakers Association. First, we'll go first to Ms. Jasmine Tofa. What can you say about the present situation in the country, about the economic situation, and how are people coping?
Very good evening, Tandegile. Your question that you asked is a very difficult question to answer, in particular when you go around the constituency of Bulawayo meeting the people. For example, I can give you the fact that prices just go up overnight. One is budgeted $1 for bus fare to go to work. The next morning it is $1.05. You have got children that are going to school that need that $1.05. And you don't earn US dollars. People earn the bond. So umbuzo nzima kakhulu, abantu bathele nzima asazi ukuthi bakuphatha njani. Ungakhangela ukuthi ama-price akhwelile. Nginika umzekeliso ukuthi umuntu beholi $100,000. Ungayithatha $100,000 leyana uyiphendule ibe ngama-US dollars. Isinkwa siyi $7,000. 7,000 bond, $1. Impuphu $450, $4.50, I beg your pardon. Cooking oil is $3. Sugar 2 kg, $2.50. So imali lena siyiphendulele iyabe ngathi $15. So wena enye imali uzayithatha ngapha abantu bayithatha ngapha. So lokhona kuyenza ukuthi kube lodlakela ezindlini. Ubaba ubuya ngikhaya ilanga lokuqala uzafika akhulume lo mama ngabantwana bakhulume ngobunzima. Kusasa kwangikhona kumele kube neplan ibangeza yenza izakhamuzi. So it's a very difficult situation. It's causing, sorry?
Yes, we'll come back to you shortly. Thanks very much. That was Ms. Jasmine Tofa of the Women's Parliamentary Caucus and Member of Parliament for the Bulawayo Province. Njalo ecingweni silo Nkosazana Buhlebenkosi Ngwenya. We have Buhlebenkosi Ngwenya of the West Pickers Association. Yes, they pick the waste, recycle it and sell it again to make a living. Siyakwamukela kuhlelo Nkosazana Ngwenya.
Yebo ma, kunjani?
Hayi siyaphila. Ungasitshela ukuthi njengoba umnotho welizwe iningi likhala ngokuthi ulukhuni kangaka lina liphila njani, liyathola yini inzuzo ngezibi elizidobhayo lizithengisa?
Inzuzo kakula muntu wenkosi. Akula vele kunzima. Phila nzima sibili ukuthi nje ungeke uhlale ungahlali yadlana.
Ungasichasisela ke ngamafitshane ukuthi uvuke ekseni usenzani, okudobhile okwenze njani, njalo ukuthengise ngemali ngaphi?
Mina ngiyavuke ekseni impota nje nama refuse dump lapha ngidobha ama-plastic. Ngadobha ama-plastic lawana sengibuya ngiwahluba ngiwafaka emabheleni. Ngafaka emabheleni bese ngiyathengisa kwesinye isikhathi siyathengisa e-tracker. Isikhathi esiningi ngithengisa e-tracker, kwesinye isikhathi kulamabhayers abhodayo ethenga. Amabhayers la abhodayo ethenga, abantu nje bayabebhoda bezithengela bathenga 25 cents kusiya ku-30 cents kg. U-tracker uthenga 40 cents kg.
Imali le oyithola uyenelisa yini ukuthi uphilise abantwana umndeni wakho ngikhaya?
Hayi ayikwani umuntu wenkosi.
Kodwa
ayikwani sibili. Ukuthi ngabe bathi khwindi jana phela manje yethula bathi bona uthamba uhulumende uyangenela ukuthi thina into esidobhayo yiziki lezi awufanelanga siphiwe imali engcono.
Lake laba lemizamo yokuthi uhulumende angenele ayenze umsebenzi wenu lawo ube semthethweni, kuyaphumelela yini? Kuyaphumelela nje kwathiwa kudingakala ukuthi siqoqeke phela njengama-West Pickers. Singaqoqeka kuba lula ukuthi sibasebenzisane lathi. Yebo-ke lisaqoqana yini? Hayi siyaqoqeka, siyazama ukuthi siqoqeke. Kulungile, uhlale khonapho-ke ecingweni sizaphenduka kuwe, ungayi khatshana, ungafaki phansi ifoni. Yes, that was Buhlebenkosi Ngwenya of the West Pickers Association, who's saying they are trying to regulate their business so that, and they have asked the government to intervene so that they are recognized as a official business, because as it is, they face harassment and sometimes they are regarded as illegal by the municipal police, whereas what the recycled goods they have do not fetch money to enable her to buy all the basic commodities for the family. Right, coming back to you, Jasmine Tofa, the Women's Caucus as the Women's Caucus in Parliament, have you discussed so far the economic situation and its impact on women and girls and what can be done about it?
Yes, indeed. As a Women's Parliamentary Caucus, we have discussed with the public hearings, we've presented our reports in Parliament. We've looked at ways of making women's lives easier, like formalizing the work that they do. For example, vending that is being done currently and things like that, because those are the jobs that they have because there is no other work. And we also looked at a situation where more resources are given to the welfare so that those that live below the poverty dated line are catered for. But those kinds of the things that we talk about are just spoken about and nothing is implemented. So somehow, as a government, we are failing to protect women and children, and yet they are the most affected by what is going on in the economy.
Yes, thank you very much. Although your line is a bit hazy now, I hope you are still where you were seated before this. Yes, but do stay on the line. We'll come back to you. We have a caller from South Africa. Siyakwamukela kuhlelo mlaleli. Yebo, mbane ngikhuluma laye, ungaziqamba ibizo utsho lokuthi uvela kuphi ekhaya.
Umuntu okhuluma naye uPatrick wakwasibanda bengisebenzisa i-account yomfowethu uNkunzi.
Kulungile. Ungasinika wakho umbono ngesimo somnotho welizwe eZimbabwe. Bathi intengo yempahla ikhuphuka mihla ngamalanga. Kuyini abantu abangakwenza ukuthi kuncediswe? Liyaphathisa yini ekhaya?
Yebo, ekhaya siyaphathisa kodwa-ke ngenxa yesimo somsebenzi ezweni lase-South Africa kuba nobunzima ngoba asisafuneki nasezweni.
Kodwa sasibona phela lithumeza impahla kubomalayitsha lakho konke kusayenziwa yini khonokho kumbe ukuthumela imali? Liyanceda yini ekhaya?
Yebo, siyazama ngamandla onke kodwa-ke ngenxa yesimo somnotho wasekhaya sithola ukuthi iranda liwaliwe kakhulu. Uthola kungasayenelise ukuthi noma uthumele 1,000 bekwazi ukuthenga impuphu nesitshebo neshukela bebhadele mhlawumbe i-school fees.
Kuyini lina elifisa ukubona ilokugcina lakho kuyini ongafisa ukubona kusenziwa ekhaya ukuthi impilo ibe ngcono lani liphenduke libuyele lihlala khona?
Mina engingakutsho kungenza impilo ibe ngcono ukuthi nje ibandla elibusayo likazi ukuthi ke ligudluke kancane linikeze mhlawumbe abasakhula ithuba lokuphatha intambo zombuso. Ngokuba selokhu ngazalwayo ngomnyaka ka-91 ngize ngibe ngaka angikaze ngilubone nje ulutho olungcono olwenziwa ibandla elibusayo ngaphandle kokuthi nje kube nencindezi kakhulu kwisizalwane sakuleli lizwe.
Yebo-ke kuyezwakala. Hayi, siyabonga ukuxoxa lathi lapha ecingweni mlaleli wethu we-South Africa. Yes, and coming back to you, Nkosazana Buhle Benkosi Ngwenya, ungasitshela ukuthi sikhuluma nje kuyasebenzeka yini lapha ezitaladeni? Kuqala lalisithi kuhlukuluzwa ngamapholisa kaManisipala kumbe abanye abesilisa abathi chiyana umsebenzi kube yibo abawenzayo. Lisebenza lula yini kulezi nsuku?
Hayi, lokho kwangani cha ungani sesivumelekileka. Kudingakala ukuthi siqoqe ukuze siphiwe amaphephethu akwanileyo. Hayi, kuyasebenzeka, asihluphani.
Inhlanganiso lezi ebezilincedisa ke ezigoqela le yakobulayo ukuthi liqoqeke uhulumende libe yi-organization lohulumende alincedisi. Yilokhu liphathisa yini njalo iyafeza injongo zayo?
I-organization esiphathisayo? Yes,
eyebulawayo Action Water Association elomnumzana Khumbulani Maphosa.
Iyasincedisa sibili.
Yebo ke hayi kulungile sesibuya kuwe ke Nkosikazi Jasmine Tofa ungasitshela ke ngolimi lesindebele ukuthi njengeParliament liyake lilucubungule yini udaba lobukhuni bezomnotho welizwe njalo lokuthi luphatha njani abesifazana lamankazana lokuthi kungenziwani ngohulumeni.
Sorry, angisezwanga esiqalisweni kungani ifoni breakile.
Ungasitshela lokhuyana usitshele khona ngolimi lesingisi kathesi usukhuluma ngesindebele ukuthi liyake lixoxe yini ngodaba lona lolo lwezomnotho welizwe lokuthi luphatha njani abesifazana njenge committee yeParliament ebona ngabesifazana lamantombazana.
Hayi sixoxa ngakho kakhulu ukuthi uhulumende kumele aphathise omama labantwana abakhangele njengo isinqumo somthetho weZimbabwe utsho njalo ukuthi omama labantwana kumele baphathiswe. So njenge women's caucus yiludaba esiyabe silukhangele kakhulu ngokuthi kungayekela ukuphathwa kuhle omama labantwana yikho lapho kungena khona abantwana sebesenza izinto ezingalunganga njengokungena sebesenza i-child prostitution sebengasalaleli ngikhaya ngokuthi ngikhaya kula kudla nani. So into emele siyikhangelisise kakhulu njenge-women's caucus into esiyikhangeleyo kakhulu. Siyake sihambe sibhoda ngeZimbabwe siyenza ama-public hearings sikhulumisana labo mama kodwa bona omama labo sebediniwe ngathi sibuya siphunga ukukhuluma bengatholi lutho olubambekayo. So kuqakathekile ukuthi uhulumende abone ukuthi omama labo bayabona ukuthi bayanakeka.
Yebo ke kulungile sizathatha ke umlaleli wethu okomzuzu owodwa njengoba uhlelo lwethu sesiza lugqiba nje siyakuamukela ecingweni umlaleli wethu ngazitsho ukuthi ngubani njalo ekhaya ungaphi. Hayi asisamuzwa ukhona mnumzana Richard Moyo we-South Africa.
Sorry ngibengisalalela kayithu sawubona kunjani dade Sandekile Mhlanga.
Hayi ngiyaphila ungaqhubeka ukhuluma usitshela ukuthi ngubani ungaphi njalo kuyini obona ngani kungenziwa ukuthi umnotho welizwe ube ngcono.
No ukhuluma nomulukuzana uMoyo into yasekhaya into ngingathanda kuyitho kusesenzima kakhulu kwahambala into ngingathanda kuyitho ngathana into ngiyifisayo amakhetho lawo azakho mhlambe ngiyothemba lethu abantu abaningi ukuthi mhlambe makavotwa ngendlela right ingakhona ukuchinja zonke izinto ngenxa ukuthi uyabona izinto ziyabiza kakhulu kwahambala izinto azikhambi ngendlela siyifisayo wonke umuntu uyakhala even uma umuntu ungathumela imali ekhaya ithenga izinto ezincane usafana phambilini so amakhetho azawo lawo amavoters akho ye-20 zakanzazi iyothemba lethu sonke ukuthi mhlambe iyo into ingachinja izinto hayi njenganje zokukhala until ivoti izifike izinto zidula njalo so amavoti sinethemba ukuthi mangafika adlula mhlambe angakhona ukuchinja everything.
Hayi siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi uxoxe lathi lapha kuhlelo usixhase kodwa ke hayi isikhathi asisavuma ukuba siqhubeke sisonke. We have come to the end of our show and would like to thank our guests, Jasmine Tofa, the legislator and a member of the Parliamentary Caucus on Women, and would also like to say thank you to Bushebenko Singwenya of the West Speakers Association. We would also like to thank all our callers, viewers and listeners. Let's meet again tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm Sithandegile Mhlanga here in Washington, D.C.